Queens.
Yeah,
There's actually mentioning. Sorry, go on.
there's gonna be a bit of a dance here. Wow, okay, so those Lings will hold positions, so they're just gonna take some damage for free. Azure almost gets one of those, but the speed will be done. We're gonna see Roaches. That's really interesting. I think we're actually gonna see him try and clean up the Reapers with speed, and then do a Roach Ravager counterattack. That's such an early Roach Warren, guys.
Yeah, he knows what he's up against now. The Overlord in the main has scouted it. So he should actually be okay from here.
Oh, we got one with the Queens.
That's such a massive loss. You can't afford to lose a Reaper this early on. It just gives Zerg all the control they can get. Creep tumors up, establish a spine if they wanted to, but KingkOng's not going to do anything of the sort. He's going to go really aggressive in response.
Yeah, and the thing is, when you make those roaches, you can commit to a lot of them when you make it this early, and you just go across the map with them. So you just punish the guy for making too many Reapers, basically. And I actually said to Zeph that I really wanted to see someone go 3 racks Reaper in OSC because I want to see a really, really, really good player fight against it. Because like I said, I love seeing Zergs being able to hold it. As fun as it is to play it and to win with it, it's nice. It's actually really good to see great Zergs control against it and win games. But so I'm kind of rooting for KingkOng a little bit here for this one.
True, but it looks like he's pretty much already dealt with it. I mean, Azure comes up and he's like, oh god, you've got so much stuff. Like, he doesn't really want to get in on that. But, you know, it's going to be a while before KingkOng can actually do much with these roaches because Reapers are fast and they also hit pretty hard in these numbers.
He's got a creep tumor as well. And nearly killed a roach. Hasn't killed the Queens at least, but yeah, I mean, you can see Azure's already done. He's done with 3 racks Reaper now, switching into Marine production. He's got a tech lab to get it in stem and dropping 2 CCs at a time.
Fantastic play from Azure so far. He's had excellent Reaper control. He hasn't been losing too many of them after the initial one was lost to a Queen. And in small numbers, Reapers do basically counter Roaches, as silly as that sounds. And he's delaying the third base for as long as possible, but KingkOng will now get that down. He's got enough Roaches in the Ravager as well to try and push those Reapers away. I'm a big fan of how quickly Azure did transition out of this, because one of the common transitions would be a Nidus or something else really aggressive, but having all of these Marines, having Stim almost halfway done, really allows him to be safe going into the next phase of this game.
Azure still has his full Reapers alive.
Yeah, nice positioning from KingkOng though, catching him just as he goes up there. But Azure has managed to have a bit of an impact on KingkOng's macro here. He's been supply blocked for a little while, only just now grabbing some of those Overlords. And it looks like...
Look at the workers killed. 0.
1.
Oh, 1 now, yeah.
Now he's getting a couple, but, well, Rip Reapers, they are done for the day now.
But even more so than just worker kills, it's just the fact that he's forced Zerg to make units for so long. It's just as good as having drone kills.
Yeah, it does count as damage.
Yeah, it's another reason why 2x Marine pushing was so prevalent throughout the early phases of StarCraft 2, because you just forced Zerg to make units so he doesn't have the 70 or 80 drones they need to really power ahead and just have that gross economy in the mid-game.
And speaking of economies, we've got Echo Azure's on 41 SCVs, and KingkOng had to make 10 drones at a time to catch up with that worker count, so not as many units. I mean, he does already have quite a few roaches, and he's backing this up with 18 Lings, so he's looking to put some hurt on here. He's going to try and delay Azure's third for a little bit, starting to float over.
Well, as that 1-1 started for our friend Azure here. But a bunch of Ravagers coming up to the front door, some Lings trailing behind there. Let's see how much he can get done here. He's actually going to meet some bio before the rest of the Lings can join in.
Oh my god,
wow.
This overextension here from KingkOng with the Ravagers leading the charge, and he lost all of them to the bio here, and that is a huge loss.
Yeah, again, look at the units lost tab, and Azure is basically twice as cost effective with his units. He's able to basically mine out his third now with mules. He can call down basically 3 at a time if he wants to. He's going up to all of the infrastructure that a Terran needs, the 5 racks, the 1 factory, the 1 starport, his double upgrades. He's almost got combat shields. The only problem for him is he is supply blocks, so he's making 4 depots at a time. So if he had pristine, yeah, if he had pristine control there on the supply depots, it'd look a little bit better for him, but he's certainly in a great position now.
I would have gotten supply blocks on 46, man. That's my magic number.
Every time.
Every time.
100% of the time, every time.
At least you don't get supply blocked at 22 like I do every single game.
That's just the best.
At least you don't make an extra Overlord on 13 like Fenner does every game on Korea. Shout out to Fenner.
Oh, poor guy.
I saw a frame-by-frame analysis of him trying to see what was going on there. It was really funny.
Oh, can he actually get this hatchery?
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, he gets a kill.
Whoa. King Kong,
Man.
is someone in your chair, man? What's going on?
Yeah, this is really uncharacteristic of KingkOng. That's a couple of big mistakes he's made so far, but I mean, credit where it's due as well. Azure is doing a fantastic job in this game. Unfortunately, a little bit supply blocked again, but KingkOng is still on the back foot.
Yeah, as you say, it is really uncharacteristic of KingkOng. Maybe there was a little bit of undercooked meat. Hungry Jack's maybe got a bit of salmonella or something, but we'll have to see.
He had too many onion rings and he feels like he really needs to hit that loo, but has to play a best of 5 first.
Great dropping here from Azure. He's not really committing too hard, not losing the units in those, just being really annoying. And KingkOng does need to get a Spire if he's ever going to be able to shut those Medivacs down.
That's right. And the Medivacs are multi-dropping now. He's hitting that 4th. The Roaches are securing that, but it's a drop heading into the back natural. Bunch of Marines in there. Looks like he's got that Spore in position, though. It's going to take a lot of damage on that Medivac, but... And the Roaches are in there as well, so really there's not going to be able to get much done.
Fantastic drop defense. He's actually going to focus down the Medivac with the Queen as well, so none of those Marines are going to... Oh! 2 more shots! He's not going to get it.
Rip the dream.
Oh, there's always time for that. He also cleans off a drop near that 4th base. It looks like it'll finally get up. Oh, very nice.
Yeah, there's actually like a whole city down there.
Yeah, I never noticed that. I was just looking at that like, oh, that's so cool.
A lost city of Orbital Shipyard.
Can't wait for Dark Souls to have the lost city of Orbital Shipyard as its final unfinished map. It's gonna be great.
KingkOng can be the final boss.
He would be, man. He's scarier than any Dark Souls boss. Azure really... he's like one of those challenge winners on Twitch, man. He's smashing the boss.
Alright, well, huge bunch of Roaches coming out here to meet up with Azure's army. This is actually quite a big chunk of supply for KingkOng. Corrosive Files going up, and he's actually just plunging through this army from Azure. Siege tanks getting cleaned up on the right-hand side as well. Azure has to pick up and get on out of there and go home, because there is quite a chunk left over for KingkOng.
That's right, just like in Dark Souls, even the challenge runners sometimes get one shot. KingkOng's putting on the other foot here. The Corrosive File's going down. The Supply Depot wall is actually quite nice here. It's delaying the push. And the Siege tanks do live, which is good for Azure. But he took a large hit to his Bioforce there. You can see that supply advantage definitely in KingkOng's favor for now. Ooh, Hydralisk stand. It's Lurker time.
It might be Lurker time. I haven't seen KingkOng play Lurkers yet in Legacy of the Void, so we'll see what he wants to do. Lurkers are pretty good on this map because you need to control a couple of different ramps. You need to control this space and the entrances to your 4th base. And Lurkers can be really good at doing that, and they can even be pretty good at drop defense as well.
We'll see if he... oh yeah, he is actually going to morph the Lurker Den, so that'll be pretty cool to see. Poor Azure, I hope he doesn't... you know, move his army into a field.
It's kind of like it's something that you don't really see anymore, which means that he probably will stem a bunch of units through a Lurker field and take a bunch of damage before he realizes it's a thing. So you can get that surprise factor with the Lurkers and really smash Terran.
You guys know that you can still do the hold position trick with Lurkers as well. So what that means, if anyone hasn't experienced it before, is you can select all your Lurkers and press hold position. It's kind of a legacy bug that was brought over from Brood War. It's actually intended design now in StarCraft 2. But if you have them on hold position, they won't fire until you tell them to stop. So if your entire Terran army goes over the Lurkers, then you press stop, then the just bio is going to get shredded because they don't have
like an
that
explosive splash damage.
Yeah.
I think I need to do that to someone later.
That's
Oh,
so
you got to get them.
beautiful.
It's only a couple extra key presses. I love that they brought that in by design though, because so many players were used to it from Brood War that it's like a nod to the predecessor of StarCraft 2.
Absolutely. Yeah, in Brood War it was pretty convoluted. You had to select the Lurkers and then attack move and an enemy building under the fog of war to do the hold position trick. Yeah, I remember it well.
We got a bit of tank pressure here from Azure. That is 6 loaded up Medivacs with tanks in there.
Both players are maxed out now, so things are going to start heating up here. Roach Ravager is actually getting shredded by this army from Azure. He needs to back up a little bit, regroup. Also a drop going off in the main, which is taking some of his attention, making it a little bit more difficult.
Great control here with the tanks. I'm loving Azure's use of the tank medivac. He might be able to get this fourth, but there are going to be lurkers out pretty soon, and lurkers do great damage against the marauders, and especially against tanks. They're going to 3-shot or 4-shot those tanks.
The lurkers are getting a little bit deep here, and there they are in range of those tanks.
Oh.
The tanks are decimated.
Those tanks!
Oh, he saves it! Sick little move there. And the corrosive files! Oh my god!
Azure stims in and he scans, but the lurkers are doing so much damage to the bio that I think the Ravagers can pretty much do the rest here.
Yeah, he almost takes a little bit of friendly fire there, but looks like he has enough to get rid of the rest of the Terran army. Another lurker comes in for good measure and cleans up that tank with the roaches. And Azure has to retreat with his tail between his legs. Wow. Yeah, not bad.
The supplies don't really tell the whole story here either, because while the supply is slightly ahead for Azure, he doesn't have this fourth saturated, and the bank is just incredible for KingkOng. He can actually fly up to about 170, 180 supply with that bank.
And he was getting melee upgrades, which leads me to believe that he is trying to save a bit of supply for the key units that he needs. He is still making lurkers, but it looked like he wanted to switch into ultras here. Now he's gas starved because he's put all of it into lurkers and hydras and infestors as well. Actually, infestors with lurkers might be incredible.
Oh man, that would be so juicy. Azure's about to hit 3-3 too, so I'm sure he's a little bit disappointed at losing that whole army. Because if that kicked in during that engagement, that would have maybe gone a little bit better. But yeah, I mean, he's going to head out again here in a second. But this is a pretty... not the biggest Zerg army, but it's pretty scary with all the...
Whoa!
Oh gosh. Oh, he has to be careful.
Yeah, a couple of the lurkers did get in there, but there's a fungal in that army and they can't get away from the lurker splash damage. There's not enough from KingkOng to seal the deal, though. The lurkers still... oh, they've been so clutch for him in this game so far. But there's only so long that they're effective until Terran starts to catch on. I mean, Azure's kind of just playing regular TvZs, not switching it up too much as a reaction to the lurkers. And I think he's actually taking a little bit more damage than he should be from them.
He's also still making marauders, which is a pretty big mistake, because KingkOng is no longer making roaches. He's only getting lurkers, hydras, ravagers, and the infestors. So there's nothing there that's actually worth having marauders over marines, and marines take a lot more hits than you'd consider from lurkers because they're not armored, and lurkers do most of their damage to armored units.
There's a big engagement here. More fungals going down. Nice fungals from KingkOng, keeping him in place with the corrosive files. Just getting released in time to be able to stim back a little bit. And it looks like Azure's going to win another engagement here and taking out some very expensive units.
Oh, he gets all of the infestors, all the ravagers, hydras. This base might be forfeit now because he has nothing nearby to defend it. And it'll knock him back to even bases with the Terran. So that's a really nice pickup for Azure.
Yeah, it's a huge, huge pick-off here. Getting all that army gone means this base is free for Azure if he right-clicks on it, but he wants to engage his roaches because he can.
Oh man, is he actually going to be able to kill it?
He can kill the lurkers, the roaches, and this base if he wanted to.
Oh, there we go. There's the reinforcements coming in. He will be able to clean up this base. Grabs all those lurkers as well, which were sitting out the front of the Terran base beforehand, so maybe he can get a little bit more done.
That's right, he's got 3-3 bio, and KingkOng's getting those melee upgrades. He desperately wants Ultralisks, but he's forced to make with what he's got. And the lurkers, the ravagers, the roaches just don't seem as effective anymore against the 3-3 bio with the tank drop.
He absolutely needs to get the ultras, and Azure is already adding on liberators. And while they're not going to be great against the ravagers, they will be fantastic against the ultras. And a big engagement going down here. A lot of the corrosive files not really getting too much done, not getting too many units under them. Azure with excellent control so far, splitting up his army once again, moving back and stimming forward as well. He might be able to clean up this army.
And he is. He's got a lot of bio that didn't get fungal there on the left. The infestors coming down from the main here. One with energy for a fungal, just taking his time on the ramp there. There's that last fungal, and that's it for fungals for KingkOng. And Azure is pressing the issue here. I think Azure's looking like he's going to go 2-0 in this series, man.
This is unbelievable.
So he could do, man. 10 more roaches about to pop out there and a couple more roaches available. The reinforcements have stopped though, so this army will eventually get cleaned up. But the question is, how much is KingkOng going to have left? Look at the supplies. He's down into the double digits now, while Azure is still quite close to 150 supply here.
And this one ball of bio, while Azure's been reinforcing back at home. He hasn't reinforced this, by the way. this ball, the reinforcements are just coming now. That one ball of bio almost won the game for him, and I'm feeling like this reinforcement is just going to be way too hard for KingkOng to handle.
He basically said, look at this army that I produced earlier, and